Thank you.
Oh.
Hello.
Hey. Hi, guys.
Whoa, that is...
Can I just say that the trailers thematically match us in absolutely no way whatsoever?
It's the big reveal.
Hi.
Right, well, we're going to get straight to questions from you guys, because that's who our cast are here to see and hear from. So, if you have a question for them, please feel free to stick your hand up, and I will bring the microphone round to you, and you can ask away. So, who is going to ask the first question? Come on, don't be shy.
We know you have questions.
There you go. There's a lady here.
These are...
Okay.
So dark in here.
Hiya, I'm writing an English essay on Elizabeth Bennet and how dependent she is. So to what extent do you feel that Elizabeth Bennet is dependent on just men in particular?
Dependent on men?
Yeah, so like, for example, she has to marry in order to fulfill like social expectations of her.
Oh, you're talking about Mrs. Bennet.
Do you mean in the book or in our show?
Well, both, really, because I'm kind of writing comparison.
Let the writers take that one.
We're talking about Mrs. Bennet, correct?
Elizabeth.
The mother?
Elizabeth.
Or Lizzie Bennet?
Lizzie Bennet.
She's not dependent on men. She's, in our modernized adaptation, she is very much trying to make her own path in society. And in fact, at the very end of the story, she rejects a job offer that would have been very comfortable for her from her boyfriend, Darcy, to venture off on her own and make her own business.
Yeah, I think that was one of the fun things about the modern day adaptation. In the original novel, getting married was, for love versus for financial security. And, for us, that was finding the right job and being able to follow your passion that way. With a good love story with cute boys, too.
Yeah.
Don't get us wrong, we love that.
Okay, I got a question at the front.
Yeah, cool. Is there any character you wish you could have done an impression of, and will you do it now?
Oh, jeez.
Can I see your Mrs. Bennet impression, please?
I never got to do Caroline, I suppose.
Oh, yeah?
Lizzie Bennet. My hair is wonderful, so you have to listen to me.
Nice, very nice.
Thank you. Just have to do a lot of this.
Yeah, that.
It's
I'm
like Jessica's
and I'll
here
do
with
what?
Oh, jeez.
That's not good. Wait, can I hear you say?
What?
Just give a Winnipeg, Manitoba. Yeah.
What sort of Winnipeg,
Just
Manitoba?
like how Mr. Collins would say it.
Winnipeg, Manitoba.
There you go. Yeah, that's good.
Yes.
Right, and a question from this young lady.
What made you choose Pride and Prejudice to adapt into like the modern vlog style?
What made us choose Pride and Prejudice? I believe the official I believe that started with Hank.
Yeah, it was. None of us made that decision.
Yeah, we did not make that call, but we were very glad the call was made. The original idea when Hank was like, we're going to take a story and we're going to tell it in vlog form, was The Diary of Anne Frank, and thank goodness that did not work out. They weren't able to secure the rights. But Pride and Prejudice, it's such it's a classic novel, and we all love it, and and so many people do, and I think that really helped people sort of find the show.
And a question for this lady.
How fun was it doing all the social media side of it, like the Twitter and becoming the characters in all the social media?
Well, it was awesome. We didn't actually do that. That was not us as the actors controlling the Twitters. That was, for the most part, Jay Bushman and Alexandra Edwards, who were our transmedia team. Rachel Kiley did a bit of it as well. And the weird thing about it was, like, seeing your character tweet and being like, oh, that's happening. It really was such a collaborative process, because it wasn't just us, creating these characters as actors. It wasn't just the writers. It was all of us and the transmedia team as well, which was both scary and great and exciting. Some of us, me in particular, are very that's my character. So sometimes you have to be a little more flexible than in other scenarios, but it was really cool to see, and it was different than anything I've ever done, for sure.
That's a great answer.
Thanks, Max.
I have nothing to add to that.
Thanks, Margaret.
Next question.
Okay, we got a question for this lady here.
Hi, I just wanted to know, what was the inspiration for the modern adaptations of the characters? So, like, Mr. Collins is quite different from the character in the book, well, very different. So I wanted to know, what was your inspiration behind each backstory for each character that you modernly adapted?
Sure. Well, for me, being Mr. Collins, when I got the role, I was like, oh gosh, this is amazing, but Mr. Collins is really not such a, well-liked character. And for me, I just wanted to bring a likability to the guy, because I feel like there was something there, and I felt like, yeah, let's make him a little likable, but he still has those icky, weird, not so good qualities. But I don't know, bring some humor to him, and I guess in my own weird, quirky self with my traits mixed in, it just sort of worked. But yeah, the overall thing is I really wanted to just make him human and not the stereotypical like buffoon character. Yeah.
Max is very nice for not throwing me under the bus, because as soon as I realized that he could give a 3-paragraph long speech, I would give him one in every single episode. And especially when you're shooting in like 100-degree heat without air conditioning in summer, and this poor guy is having to wear a suit. The fact that he still talks to me is really sweet of him.
Big words, always, yes.
I feel like the characters, since we had, 9 hours of footage, essentially, we got to explore each and every one of them a great deal more than they are explored in the original novel. So we got to humanize them a little bit. We got to humanize even Caroline and some of the lesser-known characters. And one of the reasons that Lydia is so well-liked is that we got to know her a lot better this time around.
Yeah. I was really glad we were able to flesh out Charlotte more than she usually gets in the adaptations, because I have always been a Charlotte partisan.
And we have a question from a person here.
Ooh.
If you had to pick one moment that defined the series for you, what would it be?
Ooh, that's a tough one. One moment to define the series.
That's easy for me. Hold on, I'm trying to record for my vlog, you guys. There we go.
Yes. Sorry, we're doing transmedia as we speak.
Yeah, you can watch it on my YouTube channel. The question was, pick a moment that defines the series for you, and for me that is, of course, the moment in episode 87. I don't think anyone is surprised at this answer when Lizzie tells Lydia for the first time in the entire series that she loves her and hugs her, and that's pretty cool. So.
Nice.
Thank you.
It's weird. That's a good question. I don't know that Mr. Collins had like a defining moment. I guess the most defining moment, for him in the course of the show was probably when he knocked. He learned. Oh, yeah.
He grew as a character.
He did.
Yeah, he knocked.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think for me, if I had to pick one moment that defines this series, I think it really has to be just in the pilot, the first time Lizzie looks at the camera and says, "My name is Lizzie Bennet, and this is my life." That really sort of encapsulates the show in a nutshell. If I had to do the elevator pitch, it's Lizzie talks back to the audience.
For me, it's pretty easy. End of episode 59, you see Darcy from the neck down, and that changed the entire show in a second.
And a question still at the front.
Hiya. I know there was like a lot of interaction with the people watching the show and then the characters themselves, which was quite unique in how you did it. I was just wondering like how that felt for you guys sometimes. I know it got like quite massive sometimes. I know Lydia especially experienced it like through the whole Wickham thing, people doing a lot of tweets there. I was wondering how that affected the characters and things like that, how you felt about all that.
It's really bananas. Like I said before, it was really unlike anything else that we've ever done, or like any other projects, because we shot it like once a month for a year, so we were kind of living it out in somewhat real time, as opposed to a movie where you shoot it all at once and you shoot it out of order and you wait maybe 3 years and then people finally start to see it. You know, we were like actually seeing people's reactions to the work we were doing as we were doing it. And I think I can speak safely for all of us actors and probably writers as well, that we got very like protective of our characters and very defensive of them, because I mean, it was hard not to, you know, because like I was Lydia. Like it wasn't just, oh, I played Lydia a while ago and I care a lot about her. It was like I was experiencing everything she was experiencing in real time, and that was difficult. And it was hard to get online and see people be mean to her, which of course there were plenty of people also being very lovely to her, but especially when like Lizzie and Lydia got in a fight and people were very vocal about like which side they were on, and it was very split. It was kind of hard to be objective, really, because you're like, well, I'm glad that people have strong opinions because that means what we're doing is working, and I know that that's good. Even at the beginning when people were like, I hate Lydia, she's annoying, I was like, screw you, she's great. It just was really hard, and I think sometimes we had to separate ourselves from that. That being said, it worked great for the narrative because there were people telling Lydia that she was a slut, and then she was able to address those people in the video. It was kind of creepy sometimes how well it worked out, because obviously we were kind of having to like predict what would happen and what people would say, because we had to shoot it beforehand, but then people usually said what we wanted them to say, and that was kind of weird.
Yes. Thank you very much for everybody who said what we wanted you to say. We really appreciate that.
A question from a lady here.
You obviously got to include the famous opening line in the opening episode, but were there any lines that you really wished you could have transferred exactly from the book to the series that you didn't get to?
Oh, that's a good question.
What was the question?
Oh. Are there any other lines from the book that you wish we could like have put in the series?
A lot of my favorites I made sure I got in some way, that they would get, possibly the language would get modernized a little bit, but one of my very favorite lines is at the end, and it's Darcy saying, I cannot fix the hour or the spot. I was in the middle before I knew I had begun. And I'm like, okay, that, when I was 15, that's what love was for me. So I was like, all right, that line has to go in somewhere.
Yeah. My favorite Easter egg was how every minor character we could possibly mine out of the book, we would stick their name in somehow.
Yes.
So,
that's true.
Yeah, from Jenkins in Legal, I think was my favorite.
Dr. Forrester and Lydia's friend Harriet. And everybody, yes.
I love Mr. Bennet in the books and the other adaptations, maybe the most, and my favorite thing of his is when he tells Lizzie that, I don't remember it exactly and I'm going to butcher it, but if she doesn't marry Mr. Collins, her mother would never speak to her again, and if she does, that he would never speak to her again, so you'd have to choose. I do miss having Mr. Bennet, and like obviously it's just our interpretation of him as the characters, but he's my favorite.
But I think you were the original. You weren't the original Mr. Bennet cosplay,
That's
but you
true.
got to do
That's
costume
true.
theater for Mr. Bennet.
No. Charlotte did.
Charlotte was, yeah, but you were an early adopter on that.
Yeah.
I appreciate the Enron joke.
There's a version of that in the book, though, that scene, so you get that a little bit.
Yeah.
All right.
We have a question here.
Hi. If you could take any novel and make it a modern series like the Lizzie Bennet Diaries, what would it be?
People ask us this all the time, and I have no good answer.
Maybe that's because we're actors and we don't write this stuff.
Well,
maybe? No? I don't know.
I was a literature major, but...
Oh, well, okay.
My problem is
I was a literature major.
I don't, yeah. I know. And I always give this answer. I always say The Secret Garden.
Oh yeah.
It's a book I always connected with, and so yeah, there's my answer.
Yeah, I've been working on a 12th Night adaptation that I would love to do as a modern day story on a college campus, and so that is sort of my dream project right now that I'm really excited about.
My problem is my favorite novel is Pride and Prejudice. My second favorite novel is Jane Eyre, and somebody already did a web series adaptation of Jane Eyre, which is really good. You guys should watch it. It's the autobiography of Jane Eyre. But they beat me to it, is the problem.
Maybe David Copperfield for me. It's been a long time since I read it, but that's what I list as my favorite novel, so it could be interesting.
And we've got time for 2 more questions, starting with this one.
No.
Hi.
Hello.
Hi. I was just wondering, what was your favourite attribute of your characters that you played, and to the non-actors, what was your kind of favourite or proudest moment of a character during the series?
Ooh.
Well, I couldn't hear.
Favorite attribute and proudest moment?
Ooh.
Was the attribute part for the writers and the moment was for us? Or? Yes, okay. There you go. Favorite attribute of the characters for you guys.
Okay.
Proudest moment for us.
Well, you answer first so we can think.
No. I think.
Yes.
Go ahead.
Proudest moment.
I think my proudest moment. I'm giving you some time.
All right, I got it. Okay, I got it. Favorite attribute of a character that I got to write was, and I only got to write her once, but Mary Bennet. My favorite attribute that I transferred over from the book was that she is terrible at performing. So when we had her do costume theater with Lizzie, we had her be terrible, but we didn't really give Brianna Cuoco, the actress, any other direction other than that, and she just knocked it out of the park. She was hysterical.
Yeah, my favorite attribute of a character, beyond what I've talked about for when I was writing for Mr. Collins, or also for Darcy, getting to really bust out the vocabulary, that was a lot of fun. But, I had something, and then I talked, and it's gone now. So yeah, apparently I like showing off big words is the best I can come up with right now.
Yeah, I enjoyed saying those big words, actually. There were some words that I had to use a dictionary for, I guess, sometimes. But I guess I answered this already. The proudest moment is that Mr. Collins actually learned something with the knocking. And I think that was a really nice way to close out his character and, gave him a nice little button.
My proudest moment, not to get all deep and dark again, is that Lydia, after going through a rather terrible time, spoilers, asks Lizzie for help, asks Lizzie to be there for her, and admits that she is having a hard time, which is something I never did when I was in a similar position, and I think something that takes a lot of courage. So I thought that was pretty cool. Good job, Lydia.
And we have our final question for this lady here.
Hi, this isn't about Lizzie Bennet, it's about the YouTube short, I Ship It with the awesome Honeyduke song.
Cool.
The first one is that ever going to be available on iTunes, because I can never get it out of my head. And then the second is there any chance of a sequel to that, because it was adorable?
Thank you. Thank you for watching it. If you guys haven't watched I Ship It, you should, because it would make me happy. Honeydukes is on Bandcamp, as well as Horcruxes, the other song. I don't know if it'll ever be on iTunes. I don't know what the specifics are with that. I'm actually not going to be very good at answering your question at all, because I'm not in charge. I don't know about a sequel. That's very up in the air, but I'm very glad you enjoyed it, so thank you for watching. Yay.
And they're very glad too.
No, that is all the time we've got left, because there's no more questions unless there's one more.
One more. Your last chance.
Over here?
Your last chance. So we'll go to this lady here.
I see 3 hands.
Making Kitty a cat, where did that come from?
I don't know, Bernie called me one day and he was like...
That was Jay.
It was Jay?
Jay came up with it, yeah.
Yeah, Jay came up with, since we'd cut out our Bennet sisters down from 5 to 3, and then we were in the writer's room, and he's like, we should just make Kitty into a cat. And then it was, well, clearly we should then give the cat a Twitter account, and the only account that she follows is Lydia, because Kitty follows Lydia everywhere. And yeah, that's one of my favorite gags on the show.
So. Secrets from the writer's room.
Yes.
Rosie did a great job, and now she's on IMDb.
Yep.
It's true, yeah, because that's your actual cat, isn't it?
Yes.
Yes.
That is my cat. We're going to have a signing now, so please come say hi to us there, if you like.
And you could talk to us more there, for sure.
Yeah, and thank you for being here. We love you very much.
And we have bookmarks.
Ladies and gentlemen, please give a massive round of applause to our Lizzie Bennet panelists.
Thank you guys so
and
much
as I
for
said,
coming
you
out.
can find them at the signing booth where they will be available to sign and also to talk to you about any questions that you have. But thank you very much for joining us today. And up next we have Shane West, but please keep a round of applause going for our Lizzie Bennet panelists.
Thank you.